Sugar, just step into your sneakers and step behind the speakers. Your heart will keep me beating and make me a believer. Don't you want me? Don't you want me? I need some mercy on my soul right now. Give me what you got, oh, oh, oh. Give me what you got, oh, 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 oh. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care when we're dancing tonight. Your love. I don't care if I'm losing my way. I've been waiting for you as the night fades away. So roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. Can I get an amen when the night ends? There's no winner when you're walking alone. Sliding down the last street as the day creeps. What you doing with nobody at home? Sugar, just step into your sneakers and step behind the speakers. Your heart will keep me beating and make me a believer. Don't you want me? Don't you want me? I need some mercy on my soul. Come on. Give me what you got. Oh, oh, oh. Give me what you got. Oh, oh, oh. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care when we're dancing tonight. Just as long as you're there in the break of the light. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care if I'm losing my way. I've been waiting for you as the night fades away. So roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. Extra touch and pull up, hand in hand for one last touch. Shake extra touch and pull up, hand in hand for one last touch. Shake extra touch and pull up, hand in hand for one last touch. Give me what you got, oh, 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 oh. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care when we're dancing tonight. Just as long as you're there in the break of the light. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care if I'm losing my way. I've been waiting for you as the night fades away. So roll up, roll up, roll up, roll
Can't stop listening to this voice in my head. Got me tearing through the covers on this rusty spring bed. Bust through the doors.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It would be no surprise if today's matchup turns into a grinded-out affair. The Pats are #1 in defensive yards allowed, and they go up against the Bills, who will need to be sharp on offense. So with that, let's get up to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are about an hour's drive southwest of downtown Boston in the area known as Patriot Place, Gillette Stadium, here in Foxborough. Tonight, we wrap up Week 11 with a good Monday nighter between the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. Now it looks like we've got a Patriot down, slow to get up. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. First carry now. This is Johnson. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. and a lot of the weight of this offense falls on the shoulders of the running back.
That's because the offense knows if they give him any openings, any opportunities, he can turn it into a big play at any time.
Here we go now.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he'll be out of bounds up near midfield at the 49. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10.
Here we go now.
Again, it's Johnson. And he's got room. And he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully. I remember growing up playing basketball. My coaches always talked about communicating on defense, making sure you talk on defense, know where your screens are, know where the cuts are coming from, who has who. Well, guess what? It's the same thing in football. Even though there's more noise out there, you can hear all the screams of screen, screen. This defense, the bench, everyone let them know what the play was, and that's why they were able to react and knock the ball away.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
But when it comes to the running game, the New England Patriots, they're one of the few teams in the NFL that I don't think care much about balancing things out.
Last year, to your point, 5th in passing yardage, number 30 in the run game.
What they want to do each and every week is make a game plan based on their opponent, not so much their own personnel, and they try to attack that way.
And he's got his man on the out route. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Here we go now.
They go to Johnson again. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. When you're not allowed to climb, you got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there, and a really nice play resulted for them.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. And Myers able to knock it through, and the Patriots jump out to a 3-0 lead. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
Prescott now on second down. And he fires one that's intercepted. The linebacker, Stephon Anthony with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And now out come the Patriots. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now a handoff. Johnson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. A host of Bills there that time to make the stop.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Detroit! Hurry up, here we go!
They'll drop the throw, and that'll be incomplete. The intended receiver was David Johnson, and it'll bring up third down. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9.
Here we go now!
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Give him 9 on the pickup, but they're still a few inches short now on 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Well, this season's going nowhere. No reason not to go for it. And it's a rare success for them as they keep the drive alive.
In the red zone this time. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Johnson on the counter. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Colby Lisenby, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, And how about the end result? A touchdown.
The Bills offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Now he's going to throw deep right side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Everything about that play was beautiful. A great corner route where the receiver worked the defensive back inside and then broke back to the outside to the corner. But how about the throw by the quarterback? Anticipation on the break from inside to outside. He threw the football. As the receiver turned around, the ball greeted him.
And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he's brought down. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And ready now for 2nd and 9. A second down throw for Prescott. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And a nice little pass and catch there on the corner route.
Set up very well by the receiver with a head and shoulder fake inside before he comes back downhill to his quarterback.
Red zone opportunity. From the red zone now, Prescott throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Their dangerous wide receiver. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Bills draw a bit closer. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Green 39. Green 39 Philly. Here we go.
Snap count threw the defense off. 5-yard penalty. Shift together here from the D-line. They go play action here on first down. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here we go now.
Here's the former Heisman winner. It's Derrick Henry. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 99 Philly. Here we go. Go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Leopard. Here we go now.
They'll set up a throw underneath for Johnson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
1st and goal here from the 9. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. David Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots add on to their lead. It's good to make it 17-7. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. Derek Wolfe coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12.
Well, many many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Final play of the half. Prescott. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that. So this guy's just sitting there, right? He's got like 30 hot dogs in front of him. And what's that? Apparently we're back. Okay, so Larry's halftime show got cut off. Sorry, we were doing story time here in the booth. We are ready, though, for the third quarter. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Bills now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 8 yards to go here on second down. One man in the backfield, Elliott. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. Rolling to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. And this is caught on the sideline. But no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds. Incomplete. A third down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On 4th, they do snap it to Prescott. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Back to throw here. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Brandon Cooks, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. And he's able to put it through. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now out come the Bills. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
On 2nd down, Prescott again. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Fresh set of downs here. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive. It just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Looking to throw, Prescott, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Bills get a bit closer. And his kick is right through. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Time running out here on the play clock. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
The busy night continues for Johnson. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. Jerry Atauchu brings him down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
A first down throw for Prescott. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Derek Wolfe in there to drop it for his second sack now here tonight. A second down throw for Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
Partner, they weren't quite in the red zone, but things are starting to get condensed on the field. Throwing the corner route there, really nice play because it gives them a little bit of room to complete it.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing. Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find...
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. Ezekiel Elliott, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bills have cut it to within a score. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Set to return. This is Brandon Cooks. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Back now in Foxborough. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. They pitch it out to Johnson. Fighting through. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
You have to love and admire the effort because he almost broke free in the backfield, but you also have to love and admire what the defense did. Swarmed the play and made sure he couldn't get anywhere. A loss of yardage.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a second and 11.
All right, now look at 56. Here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39. Leopard. Here we go. Green, 39. Green.
They'll look to throw. Surveying the field. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it. The Bills bring out a couple of extra defensive backs to defend this third down play.
Yeah, they're going dime. Now back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
And there's a good opportunity to just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
10 yards still left on 2nd down.
Come on, let's go.
Elliott running right. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the Bills have tied the game here in the 4th. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Now the Patriots gearing up to go now. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Johnson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Set, 3-19. No. Patriot. Let's go.
They come out here in the eye.
Detroit.
The play clock's running down.
Watching now, Barney.
They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. So incomplete on 1st. Let's see what 2nd down has in store.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Here we go now.
They'll come out in the pistol. Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. And he stopped immediately there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. Down to about the 22 here. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run. Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
And maybe expecting a throw. Play clock winding down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Screen play, Johnson. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Here we go. Green, 39.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Gun now on 3rd down. This will be caught just inside the 10. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down. Now the Bills will take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And Myers able to knock it through, and the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
He's back to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And quickly, they get to the line.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
He's going to let it fly. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Back to throw. Flushed out right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Patriots are close to finishing off this football game. So the Patriots coming out now. Only one timeout defensively, so this should just be a simple kneel down.
I agree totally. I looked at my time management chart. It says take a knee, victory formation. They just have one timeout left, and that should be all she wrote.
By the way, it's a good thing you can read that because nobody else can.
Not with my chicken scratch. Not at all.
Hey, pick your game up. Here we go now.
The Patriots in the victory formation as they'll take the knee. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more little... Now, hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more little insult to injury here late in the game. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one is right down the middle. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Pats, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the New York Jets come to town. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they come back to the pack a bit as their record falls to 7-3. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Patriots winners here at home as we say so long from Foxborough.